Look, man, we're getting ready to check out Hell of a Boss relationships from healthy to toxic, bro. I'm interested to see Moxie's relationship, bro. Y'all, do your boy a favor, man. Make sure you hashtag ODG down at the bottom, man. Make sure you hit that like button for your boy, man.
It's said that love can be found anywhere, even in the depths of hell. Whether it's romantic, familial, professional, or platonic, Vivzy Pop's Hell of a Boss shows us that demons and imps can still form some pretty strong relationships. That being said, not all of them are
they definitely are toxic as fuck.
Completely healthy. In fact, some of them could really use some extra work. But where do all of these relationships rank? Well, that's what we're here to find out today. I'm Caleb with Wicked Binge, and this is Hell of a Boss relationships, healthy to toxic.
Yeah, let's see this. I'm here for this.
As out, if you'd like us to take a look at those relationships.
Them niggas are freaks, bro. They literally are shooting in the air and licking each other tongue. Like they have the freakiest relationship, bro.
Naturally, our gold medal of healthiness is going to Moxie and Millie. Easily the sweetest couple in hell.
Right.
It really is hard to believe that they've only been married a year. We would be worried that all this sweetness is just the honeymoon phase, but we have a feeling that the love between them really is that genuine.
No, facts.
Throughout the entire
The only thing that I'm worried about with their relationship is I feel like he has one time to really turn her off and she's done. Like, not done completely, but like he has one time to really like not piss her off, but just turn her off, like in something that he does, like with him not stepping up to the plate. And I feel like she's gonna be like, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if they're gonna actually make that into an episode, but I feel like they're kind of building up to like a back and forth between them. You know what I'm saying?
Entire series, we've seen them encouraging and supporting each other both on and off the clock. We also see that they easily accept each other's flaws, with Millie accepting Moxie's more meek side without seeing him as weak, and Moxie absolutely adoring Millie's more violent tendencies. I mean, like just look at the Oh Millie music video if you need any proof of that. The M&Ms are also incredibly open with each other, and as we all know, good communication in a relationship is key.
Facts.
They're always thinking about each other and protecting one another, but it really does come off as more loving than outright clingy, codependent, or obsessive. They're a great team when it comes to combat, and do we even have to mention just how in love they are with each other?
And one thing is, like, my thing is he could step up his game on how the world treats him. He could step it up, but he's not really a bitch in his relationships. You know what I'm saying? One thing I will say about his relationship, like he really loves her. But he shows that he loves her, but I don't think he overcrowds her. I think he does his thing. He goes off, he does his thing, but he doesn't really overcrowd her. And I think that that's the reason why their relationship is still strong. But I think that once he gets himself together, like be more of a man and not letting people walk all over him, I think that that's really going to set it off for them, you know what I'm saying?
With no huge or concerning flaws to speak of, we just have to give these two imps our top spot. Getting our silver medal of healthiness is the partnership between Fizzaroli and Osmodius. Although these are two fairly new characters in that we haven't seen much of them together, what we have seen of them already paints a pretty clear picture of their relationship. As some fans have already pointed out, this pair sort of parallels the relationship between Blitz and Stolas, since both relationships feature an imp and an upper-class demon. But unlike Blitz and Stolas, who have a very complicated relationship to say the least, Fizzaroli and Ozzy's relationship is very clear-cut with plenty of stability and understanding. The two of them work off each other perfectly, able to understand each other so well that they can easily put up an impromptu musical number. While Fizzaroli may act as good backup, supporting Ozzy and making it clear he's the star of the show, we know that Ozzy cares about Fizz too, given his worried reaction after Millie hits Fizz with a guitar.
Yeah, she knocked the shit out of that nigga with that guitar, bro.
There isn't much else to say about their relationship for right now, but if the season 2 trailer is any indication, we should be seeing more of them in future episodes. And hopefully their relationship in those is just as strong as it was in their debut. For our bronze medal of healthiness,
they really
we have
in a
the
relationship
friendship between Luna and Vortex. While their relationship might not have turned out completely how Luna would have wanted, it's still a relationship that's fairly positive enough to get a high ranking. With both Luna and Vortex being hellhounds, it really wasn't much of a surprise that she got a crush on him so quickly.
I mean, she was just such a dumbass though. Like, I didn't like how she like tried to sell out the nigga who adopted her for that dude that she just met. Like, I hate people like that. I really do. Because even though Blitz adopted her late, bro, I still feel like you shouldn't sell out the one that fuck with you from the beginning for somebody you just don't even know just because she was sexually attracted to him. You know what I mean? He said she was in heat. That pretty much. But damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your dad, low-key, bro.
It certainly helped that Vortex was a fairly friendly guy as well as pretty chill. He didn't really judge Luna for her insecurities or anxieties, and the more they talked, the easier it was to see just how well they got along. It may have been a bit of a bummer for Luna when she learned that Vortex had a girlfriend, but evidently that didn't stop the two of them from being friends or hanging out.
I'm glad you can stick up for yourself at least.
We even see in the season 1 finale that Vortex had invited Luna to one of his parties. Really, it's nice to see that this friendship didn't just start and end with Luna's crush. Following them is the father-daughter relationship.
But we don't know how it's gonna go, man. Shit, you never know. He probably could break up with his girlfriend and fuck her.
Of Stolas and Octavia. As one of the two father-daughter relationships on this show, we can safely say that this is the more positive one, even if its debut was a bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, but we all got, like, issues with our parents, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all have issues with our parents to the point where it's like, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna bump heads with your parents one time or another, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think their relationship is pretty solid.
While it's made clear how much Stolas and Octavia love and care for each other, it was hard for Octavia to actually express this love due to both her teen angst as well as her fears regarding her parents' divorce. As for Stolas, we saw in the episode Lululand just how oblivious he could be sometimes. Although he wasn't trying to sweep their issues under the rug, instead wanting to do something that he thought would make Octavia happy, that being a trip to Lululand, his lack of awareness combined with his focus on Blitz made for a pretty awful experience for his daughter. Thankfully, once Stolas realized just how upset she was, he was able to have an open and honest conversation with her, promising to never leave her behind. We also see Stolas asking Octavia what she would rather do, and even if he doesn't understand her interests, he's still willing to give them a shot just so they can keep spending time together. Obviously, things aren't perfect between them, but the fact that both of them are willing to continue trying instead of simply giving up on each other really does say a lot. Next up is another friendship, that being the one between Blitz and Millie. This relationship is pretty minor, all things considered. They don't interact very much, but when they do, it's usually positive. Like Moxie.
I think Blitz really respects Millie though. I think Blitz respects her.
Blitz highly approves of Millie's violent side, never underestimating her and even supporting her in their fight with the Dorks agents by giving her water and cheering her on. As for Millie, she's a lot more forgiving of Blitz's flaws than Moxie is, being more amused than outright annoyed by them and clearly seeing her boss as a friend.
Woohoo! Yeah! Way to show off, Mel!
Even when Blitz threatens to hit her for teasing him about his relationship with Stolas, this is seen as more lighthearted than concerning. We also see Millie vehemently defend Blitz when the cherubs start insulting him, showing that she does care about him almost as much as she cares about Moxie. Overall, while they may not be super close, they certainly have one of the better professional relationships on this list.
Oh, me, and she
Finishing
thick
up
as
our
hell.
healthy tier, we have Loopty-Goopty and Lyle Lipton. These two are weird and certainly evil, but their friendship is admittedly kind of sweet. In a way. Basically, these two were longtime friends, investors, and business partners. After an accident that resulted in Loopty's death, Loopty hired Imp to kill Lyle, framing it as a revenge plot. In actuality, Loopty just wanted to see his friend again, not wanting to wait for Lyle to die naturally. In most circumstances, this would be seen as pretty toxic. In this instance, however, Lyle isn't even upset at dying and is happy to see his friend again. They're even able to continue their business ventures together. And considering this version of hell is less focused on the brimstone and eternal torture, we can sort of see why Lyle wouldn't be too upset. The whole attempted murder thing on Loopty's part still lowered their ranking quite a bit, but they still managed to stay in the healthy tier thanks to their actual friendship dynamic. Next up, we have the relationships that could probably use some improvement. Welcome to the gray area. Starting off the gray area, we have Millie and her family. In the episode Harvest Moon Festival, we had the chance to meet Millie's mother, father, and even her sister, something Millie was definitely excited about. We saw how her parents welcomed her home with open arms and seemed pretty loving on the surface, being just as excited as she was. Unfortunately, this is where the positives of their relationship start to taper off.
Your sister doesn't have a neighborhood head count.
Not long after they meet up again, it's shown that Millie's parents aren't exactly 100% approving of Millie's job as an assassin for hire or her marriage to Moxie. Furthermore, they could be interpreted as a bit hypocritical, in that they scold Millie for her violent tendencies, but don't really scold her equally as violent sister, Sally Mae. There isn't a ton of toxic conflict between them, admittedly, and we even see Millie's father give his approval after Moxie stands up to them. So, at the very least, we can say that there's a decent chance of things improving. Following that is another one of Millie's relationships, the one between her and Luna. These two are pretty much the definition of a mixed bag, though they still manage to be on slightly better terms than Moxie and Blitz are.
That's the thing, bro. Like, they are on better terms than Blitz, and you know what I'm saying? I forgot, what was her name? Golly, the hellhound, bro. I forgot her name. My bad, y'all. I forgot her name hella fast. But I'm just saying, bro, like, I just don't understand how the fuck they could be on bad terms, though, bro. Like, I don't get it. Their relationship should be the most solid, in my opinion,
most of the time. While not necessarily catty, they're not always friendly towards each other. Their relationship was probably at its worst in the pilot episode where they just don't get along at all. Then, in the next episode, Murder Family, Millie is concerned about Moxie accidentally shooting Luna, but only because she's their only hellhound. So yeah, still not necessarily close. Thankfully, by the time we get to the episode Truth Seekers, we get to see a little more on the positive side of their relationship. They work together extremely well when it comes to taking out the Dorks agents, and while Luna does get a small dig in about Millie's age, and Millie is a bit aggressive towards Luna at the start of the episode for leaving Blitz and Moxie behind, they don't really argue or insult each other too much. We still can't really call it a friendship per se, but at the very least, we feel that this episode did a lot to improve what little was there. Speaking of Luna, we're ranking her relationship with her adoptive father, Blitz, next. Being adopted by Blitz when she was nearly an adult, Luna didn't exactly get a ton of time to bond with her new father. This in turn makes Blitz's attempts at affection come off as all the more aggravating to her. That's not to say that Luna is in the wrong for being annoyed, as Blitz has been shown to be clingy as well as overly protective, as we saw in the episode Spring Broken.
But that's just because he loves her, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he loves her, bro. That's it's easy to be an overprotective father. You know what I'm saying? Because you just love your kids, bro. You know what I'm saying?
They have a hard time understanding each other, and this combined with Luna's aggressiveness and Blitz's obliviousness when it comes to being a parent makes for a fairly negative situation overall. That's not to say it's completely bad, however, as Luna does feel guilty about yelling at Blitz in the spring break episode. Later on in Truth Seekers, we see just how much Luna trusts Blitz's judgment when she closes the portal after telling her and Millie to escape while they can. We also get a couple of huge moments of bonding between them in Harvest Moon Festival, even if Luna still has her moments of apathy and not caring as much as she should. Much like with Millie and Luna, these small moments still hint at some improvements being made within their relationship. We just hope that things continue getting better between them, as we know that deep down, these two really do care about each other, even if Luna can't quite see Blitz as family just yet.
I think she sees them as family. It's just, she's, you know, been so hurt by her previous relationships with her probably biological parents that she just can't really embrace him right now. You know, I think that's what it was.
We finally arrived at another one of the most notable friendships in HELLUVA Boss, that being Moxie and Blitz. From the very start, these two were probably the most argumentative pair due to their clashing personalities. While Moxie would try to be respectful, it was obvious just how annoyed at Blitz he was. Blitz, meanwhile, for as much as he may have liked Moxie, wanting to hang out with both him and Millie as a sort of a surrogate family, this doesn't really stop him from tossing out insults.
He wanted to fuck them. That's what it was, bro. Not no surrogate thing. He wanted to F them.
Even threats at times on a regular basis. Needless to say, these two argue a ton, and there aren't very many moments where they're on the same page. However, two of the latter Season 1 episodes did a ton to boost their relationship, those being Harvest Moon Festival and Truth Seekers. In the former, although he may not have done a great job at noticing Moxie's concerns beforehand, we do see just how protective Blitz is of Moxie, being horrified and then getting absolutely infuriated when Stryker nearly shoots him. Then, in the latter, the two of them finally have an open and honest talk, with Blitz letting down some of his walls and Moxie being willing to see Blitz as more of a friend than a boss. This results in the two of them having an awesome sequence in the episode's climax, where they work together perfectly, trusting each other and having each other's backs. We also see Blitz defend Moxie's sappy love song during the Season 1 finale, even if he doesn't do a super great job at it. Overall, while these two have a long way to go in terms of finding better ways to communicate and fix the friction that's sometimes between them, the care and support they have for each other is very clearly there. You just have to search under all the arguing and insults to find it. Finishing off the gray tier, we have the show's other main romance, Blitz and Stolas.
Now they freaky ass, boy.
Oh boy, like we said,
he said,
these
oh
two
boy,
are complicated with a capital C. In the latest episode at the time of writing, we learned that Blitz and Stolas were brief childhood friends. But even then, things weren't exactly pure. Throughout pretty much the entirety of their relationship, these two have used each other, whether it be for romance or for access to Stolas' grimoire.
I don't know, bro. I think Blitz really used the fuck out of him, though, bro.
There's a very clear power dynamic between them thanks to Stolas' high status, and that just makes things even harder when they try to be open about their relationship. They also tend to focus more on the physical aspect of their relationship, struggling greatly when it comes to emotions and actual communication. For as much as they may care about or even love each other, there is a ton they don't know about each other. So, for this relationship to work, not only do things need to be more honest between them, but there needs to be no strings attached. Thankfully, the start of Season 2 seems to hint at this eventually happening, which is why we're cutting it a bit of slack. Otherwise, these two likely would have ended up in the toxic tier. And speaking of which,
I say after the new episode where they save Octavia and Luna, I'd be better than just this. I think that, you know, when they saved Octavia, Luna was, I guess, not really needing saved, but when they saved Octavia, I think we saw everybody's relationship get better. Like, you know what I mean? I think everybody's relationship really got better, bro.
which, finally, we have relationships
Alright,
that
now
would
we get into the
probably be
juicy
better
shit.
off
Thank you.
broken up.
Come on now.
These are the toxic relationships. Starting off this tier, we have the rivalry between Imp and the Cherubs. This relationship is pretty cut and dry, all things considered. The team at Imp want to kill their targets, and the Cherubs want to save them. So it's only natural for there to be some friction when the two are after the same person. Both teams have absolutely no respect for each other and aren't afraid to insult or even outright attack one another when things
they
get
tried
really
to kill
heated.
each other,
But
bro.
for as much as they may hate each other, the relationship is casual enough that we felt we had to put it above the more toxic and more personal relationships. After that, we're ranking the former friendship between Blitz and Fizzaroli. Admittedly, there's still a lot we don't know about these two, so we're judging it simply on what we know so far. Blitz and Fizz both grew up in the same circus, being clowns and acrobats along with being friends. At some point, however, their friendship soured and Fizz moved on to bigger and better things, leaving Blitz behind to stew in his abandonment as well as his jealousy. Whatever happened between them must have been pretty big, as even Fizz's robots are programmed to insult Blitz on sight. When the two meet again in Ozzy's, Fizz didn't even hesitate when it came to humiliating Blitz, seeing it as fun more than anything else. Although we can't say yet who was more in the wrong when it came to the end of their friendship, we don't see it rekindling anytime soon. Really, the only thing saving it from a lower rank is just how close they were when they were kids. Although, even then, you could see that there wasn't a ton of affection there. Not a bad thing per se, but it does sort of hint at what was to come. Just outside our bottom three, we have Moxie and Luna. Oof. If you thought Millie and Luna had quite a bit of friction and animosity, that doesn't even compare to how Luna interacts with Moxie. Unlike with Millie, where the two have at least shared a couple of positive moments, Moxie and Luna haven't had any positive interactions whatsoever. Moxie doesn't even do much to warrant it, other than telling Luna to do her job and occasionally bringing up how lazy or aggressive she is.
Are you kidding me, sir? She's awful.
Luna, meanwhile, insults Moxie and doesn't show him any respect whatsoever.
I mean, if the shoe fits, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, you know, he don't show her the respect, and it's kind of like, just kind of comes full circle, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Blitz is able to occasionally do that, while Luna just can't even bother. While all other pairs at Imp have a chance at becoming closer coworkers slash friends over time, we don't expect that to happen with Moxie and Luna anytime soon, if at all. For the bronze medal of toxicity, we're giving it to exes Verosica and Blitz.
Oh shit!
In Blitz's last big
he had a bad bitch too. I see you, my boy.
Romantic relationship before hooking up with Stolas, these two are very bitter about each other.
But I don't even think it was. I think, remember, he fucked her over. So I don't even think it was really her though, you know what I'm saying?
Spring Broken was pretty much all about the two of them wanting to get back at each other, constantly insulting each other all the while. Blitz is also shown, at first, to be completely unremorseful regarding their breakup, not even apologizing for stealing Veronica's money and essentially betraying her, instead telling her to just let it go. It isn't until the season 1 finale where we start to see Blitz actually show some regret. During the episode's big musical number, while Veronica may start off with her typical insults, the ending of her verse shows just how angry and hurt she was by the way Blitz ended things with her, and Blitz does seem to actually feel bad, if this and his fantasy sequence in Truth Seekers were any indication. We don't yet know if Blitz will try to make up for his mistakes, but either way, it was probably for the best that these two broke up in the first place if their way of dealing with conflict is simply throwing insults and pursuing revenge. Earning the silver medal of toxicity, we have Stryker, Blitz, and Moxie. While Blitz and Stryker might have had the potential to be partners, Stryker and Moxie were rivals from the start, with Stryker very much looking down on the smaller imp and being more than happy to show him up whenever possible. Things took a violent turn, however, when Moxie discovered Stryker's plans for assassinating Stolas, leading to Stryker trying to kill him. When confronted by Blitz, Stryker decided to try and manipulate him into working together and betraying Stolas. Whether this was a genuine offer or Stryker being a literal snake, it's hard to say. Either way, it still doesn't change the fact that Stryker still turned to attempted murder when rejected, still being willing to kill even someone he somewhat respected if it meant completing his job.
I mean, but he didn't even really know him though, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, he respected him, but they just met, you know what I'm saying?
We're sure that when Stryker shows up again, the animosity and distrust between these three will be even stronger. But really, can you blame them? Finally, our gold medal of toxicity is going to the soon-to-be divorced Stolas and Stella.
Of course. I don't even know why I asked that, bro. Of course they are, bro. Of course they are. They relationship is in the shitter, bro.
Yeah, this was really a no-brainer, especially after all we saw in the season 2 premiere. While not all arranged marriages are loveless and full of toxicity, this one certainly was. For as much as Stolas may have tried to make it work, Stella showed no interest and instead constantly berated and insulted Stolas for her own amusement, even while in public. Though we can't approve of Stolas seeking revenge, we certainly understand why he eventually cheated on Stella with Blitz.
I don't even think you cheated. I mean, you could tell that he just didn't want to. I mean, you could, in that one episode, I think, didn't they say, like, they didn't really want to be together, but they're just going to be together just because, you know, it's just what needs to happen and shit like that. So it's like, I don't really feel like that's cheating because he didn't want to be with her. And I don't think that she really wanted to be with him for real. Or maybe she did. Maybe she wanted to be with him a little bit and that's why she was so pissed.
Even after the two break up, Stella not only hires a hitman to try and kill her ex-husband, but she also continues hanging around Stolas' home so she can, quote, continue tormenting him. It's not even a matter of Stella being brokenhearted. She just wants to make Stolas as miserable as possible. While we're happy that Octavia came from it, these two never should have gotten together. And both of them will probably be better off once they're finally divorced. Either way, we're still going to consider them the most toxic relationship in Hell of a Boss. But let us know in the comment section if you agree with our ranking, and tell us what we should cover next.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree with their ranking. You know, there's a few things that you could argue, that you could move around here and there and there and here. But honestly, I agree with them, bro. Definitely one of the worst, one of the most toxic has to be has to be them at the end, bro. I definitely agree that. I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Luna and Blitz, I just want to see them just like get together, man. Cause you know, that's his daughter, even though it might be technically, but you know, like for example, if you had a mom, you had a dad, everybody has a mom and dad. Even though, you know, some moms and some dads might be around, some moms and dads might not be around, you know, due to all kinds of circumstances. But for the most part, people, you got a mom, you got a dad, or you have at least one of the two for most people. And for most people, when you have that parent, because you turn 18, you don't stop being their parent, being their child, and they don't stop being your parent. Just because you don't like them, that doesn't stop them from being your parent. That doesn't stop you from being their child. So that's kind of really interesting because it's like, even though she's 18 or he adopted her when she's almost 18, as long as the love is there, it's like he wouldn't stop being your parent. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of adopting a child. Like, I ain't even gonna lie.